Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to learn about the Academic Library Consortia. This module is divided into two parts. This is the first part of this module. In this module, we are going to discuss about various aspects of Academic Library Consortia and networks, which includes Introduction to Library Consortia, History, Growth and Development of Library Consortia, Library Networks in India, Definition, Needs and Benefits of Library Consortia, Types and Pricing Models of Library Consortia, Activities and Services that are provided by Library Consortia. Cooperation amongst institutions for sharing the library resources is being practiced for decades to provide cost-effective and cost-efficient services to its users that the libraries individually could not afford. Traditionally, the primary purpose of establishing a library network was to share physical resources, including books and periodicals, amongst members. As collaboration flourished, the networks and cooperatives were focused on the automation coupled with the increased use of computers in bibliographic processing activities and database searching. The Internet, particularly the World Wide Web, has emerged as a new way of information delivery, which triggered the proliferation of web-based full-text online resources. These revolutionary web-based technologies have been driving the emergence and popularity of newer and more effective models of information access and resource sharing around the world. With infusion of new information technologies from print-based environment to digital environment, consortia-based subscription has become main focus of cooperation. Now let's take a view of history, growth and development of library consortia. The real drive for cooperation was seen during the 80s, when the focus of cooperation shifted towards resource sharing and number of initiatives were taken to achieve collective objectives of libraries by working together. The biggest impetus for the development of formal library network occurred after 1960, when automating library process became a possibility. The growth of library networks in India can be traced to the initiative taken by NISAT in the year 1986. The CalibNet was established in 1986, followed by the DELNet in 1988, with initial funding from NISAT. The establishment of the InflibNet by the University Grant Commission in 1991 as a national level network can be considered as a major turning point in evolution of library networks in India. The pace of creation and development of library consortia has accelerated in past 2 decades because of availability of e-resources and offerings made by the publishers to library consortia. In India, the National Knowledge Resource Consortium that was established in 2002, the Indus ICT Consortium that was established in 2003, the UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium which was established in 2004, DAE Consortium which was established in 2004, and Enlist Program that was established in 2010. These are the major library consortia with emphasis on identification, acquisition and management of electronic resources for member libraries. Consortium refers to cooperation, collaboration and coordination between and amongst libraries for the purpose of sharing information services. Consortia facilitates the libraries to get the benefit of wider access to electronic resources at affordable cost and at the best terms of licenses. With the collective strength of resources of various institutions available to it, is in a better position to address and resolve the problem of managing, organizing and archiving the electronic resources. Consortia provides a platform to members to share their knowledge, skills and experience amongst participating libraries. Consortia works as a catalyst to trigger other activities that required collaborative efforts such as cooperative collection development, education and training, preservation, centralized services and network alliances, featuring library automation services, system support, interlibrary lending, union catalog, retrospective conversation, consultation and cooperative purchasing. Types and models of library consortia. There is a great deal of varieties in types and models of library consortia in terms of their size and flavor. They range from informal gathering of librarians gathered for negotiating license for accessing resources to formally organized operations either sponsored by one institution or by all member institutions. Consortium model depends upon the types of libraries participating, parent organization, purpose of partnership and subject area they cover. Allen and Hirschhorn model. This model categorizes consortia that are based predominantly on the governance structure of the consortium, whether it is a formal or informal, centralized or decentralized structure. Types of categories are loosely knit federation, multi-type or multi-state networks, tightly knit federations, centrally funded statewide consortia, etc. O'Connor model. This model provides 4 models that are predominantly based on how the consortia are funded. Off the top, get on with it, let's help ourselves and do it our way. So these are some of the types of this model. Helmer model. This model identifies a wide variety of models of library consortia, such as those formed by the government mandate, license electronic resources, offer other services, has a legal status, has a central office, with or without staff, with or without central funding. Havisto model. This model categorizes library consortia in terms of how a consortium is managed and what needs to be looked at when entering into consortial agreement. Consortium can be managed by a member of the consortium, a new legal entity funded by the partners or outside agent. Consortium by geographical region, city or metropolitan library networks. This type of consortia confine their activities and membership to a given city or a metropolitan. For example, EDINET, MALIBNET, BORNET, etc. Regional library network. This kind of consortia are founded by the member institutions for specific purpose in a given region for example Helinet in Karnataka. National library networks. National library networks are spread over the entire country, for example in FlipNet. International library network. The international library networks are spread over different countries, for example OCLC. OCLC can be considered as an international network with 16,737 libraries as its member from different countries. Library consortium based on activities undertaken by them, the umbrella or supermarket. This kind of consortia covers all subject field and offer multitude of services, for example OCLC. Bibliographic utility networks. The bibliographic utility networks consist of large union bibliographic database of member libraries accessible online to members for copy cataloging or for creation of new bibliographic record for new books. The OCLC, as the largest bibliographic utility network, provides database consisting of 2 billion bibliographic records created by member libraries. These records are used for copy cataloging, interlibrary loan and other functions. Online search service network. Online search service network hosts a number of databases in machine readable form which are accessible online through internet. A user can directly interrogate the database mounted on host computer through internet in two-way interactive mode. Network or consortium for subscription to electronic resources. This kind of consortium makes group licensing and purchasing of electronic resources as one of its major activities. For example, INDEST ICT Consortium, the UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium in India. The consortium is formed by types of its member institutions. This kind of consortium is formed by type of its member institutions, like UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium is consortium for university libraries. Likewise, INDEST ICT Consortium is a consortium for technical institutions. Library consortia based on source of funding. Open-ended consortia. Open-ended consortium do not have a fixed number of libraries as its member. Instead, any library can join the consortium within a defined time framework. Open-ended consortia provide flexibility to the libraries to join the consortium based on their need, convenience and will. The publisher may define a minimum number of libraries that are required essentially to take off the consortium. This type of consortia are generally driven by small homogeneous group who have a need to cross-share the resources in specific subject area. Closed group consortia. The membership in a closed group consortia are defined by certain criteria and its membership remain closed to a predefined group of members who fulfill this criteria. Closed group consortium are formed either by affiliation of its member institutions to the funding agency, for example National Resource Consortium and DAE Consortium in India. Centrally funded consortia. It is an efficient management and coordination model where central funded agency provides fund to operate the consortium. Individual member libraries are not required to make any financial contribution for subscription of e-resources. Library consortia in India includes UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium, Indus AICTE Consortium, and Enlist are centrally funded library consortia. Shared budget consortia. Shared budget model is the only alternative where central funding is not forthcoming. Helinet is example of this model, but the fund management does not have central authority. National Consortium. The National Consortium acts as a central agency to coordinate the acquisition, creation, and access to information in digital format for institutions of higher education and research. The National Consortium can get financial and administrative support from various ministries and departments of Government of India for subscription of core electronic resources. Now let's take a view of pricing models and access right of library consortia. Print plus e model. Print plus electronic model was evolved by the publisher as a natural extension of their print subscription model. The publisher provides electronic access to all subscribed as well as unsubscribed titles or part of unsubscribed titles on a given subject collection on additional payment of certain percentage on their current print spending. The additional percentage payment may vary from publisher to publisher in the range of 5% to 30%. Managing this model may pose significant operational problems to both consortia and the publishers because of print retention clause. E-only model. The E-only model offers electronic access to journals irrespective of their print subscription. Under such offers, publishers offer a predefined set of journals at a predetermined cost of the member of a consortium. E-only model grants consortia wide archiving and perpetual access rights for subscribed years' content. Full-time equivalent model. Full-time equivalent model, that is also called FTE, is offered based on population of total number of potential user per site. Generally, entire population of the organization including students, faculty, researchers and employees of an organization are counted as FTE. Publishers like Nature and Science who had several multiple subscription across the campuses follow this model, considering that the online access could lead the extinction of their print version over time. Concurrent user model. The concurrent user model provides a fixed number of concurrent users accesses to all the members of consortium, treating all members of the consortia as one single entity or site. Universities having multiple sites and national consortium can negotiate this kind of model. Perpetual access with annual release. The libraries and library consortium are increasingly demanding the perpetual access to the content based on subscription model followed by the libraries in print environment. However, the cost that is charged for perpetual access, especially by aggregators like Ovid and OCLC, is prohibitive. Annual lease model, on the other hand, offers significant cost advantage. Increasingly, publishers are offering models of subscription to e-resources with perpetual access to e-resources built in for the period of paid subscription. Big file access. Access to big file of journals is a critical necessity, especially for scholarly journals. Several leading publishers have already digitized their complete back files of journals, launched their archival back files. These publishers include Elsevier Science, Springer Link, SES, Institute of Physics, SIAM, Cambridge University Press, Oxford University Press, etc. Most of the publishers who have created back files from Volume 1 offer the back files on one-time purchase or perpetual access basis. Document delivery and pay-per-view model. Document delivery is an extension of interlibrary lending practice for resource sharing, which has been widely practiced worldwide as exchange of photocopy of articles amongst library. The emerging pay-per-view model, made available by several publishers and third-party aggregators, is likely to replace the old document delivery model. The pay-per-view model charge $10 to $50 per article, but offer the benefit of instant access of full text and economic advantage over subscription model. In this model, library does not subscribe to the complete journal but pays for what is used. Pay-per-view model is driven and promoted by the publisher. It may replace document delivery completely in future. Now let's take a view of services and activities that are provided by Library Consortia. Library Consortium purchase. Consortia-based subscription to e-resources is a way of maximizing access to e-resources at a minimum cost. The Consortia-based subscription can be successfully deployed to meet the pressure such as diminishing budget, increased user demand, and rising cost of journals. Collective acquisition of resources. Library Consortia can achieve greater benefit by implementing centralized resource acquisition program and by rationalization its acquisition. Cooperative cataloging. Catalog of a library is an index of its collection. Likewise, a union catalog of libraries is a network of serve as an index of combined catalog of libraries in a network. The union catalog was therefore taken up as one of its first activity for most of the resource sharing initiatives. The centralized cataloging saves times, avoid duplication, encourage interlibrary loan, and facilitates downloading of cataloging information directly into the local library catalog. Some of the important catalog-based service that library networks can take up are shared cataloging of monographs, serials, and non-book materials, union catalog of books, serials, theses, and dissertations, online catalog of access of shared cataloging and location identification, catalog production of magnetic types and CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, etc., retrospective conversation and preparation of authority files. Database service. Local availability of international database make the access faster and reliable and reduce the trans-Pacific network traffic and bandwidth congestion and cost incurred on it. Depending upon the licensing arrangements, local hosting of database also ensures the availability of archives of database locally. The library networks can also build value-added service around subscribed resource, including retrospective search for member institutions, citation analysis for individual researchers and institutions, current awareness alert services, etc. Resource sharing. Resource sharing through formal and informal partnership helps a library to deliver wider range of service. Technological advancement offer a new dimension to resource sharing with shift from sharing bibliographic information to sharing of full text electronic resources. The JGate custom content for Consortia, that is also known as JCCC, has been specially designed for the UGC Infonet Digital Library Consortium to facilitate for resource sharing and document delivery amongst participating institutions. Shared technology system. The consortium can help libraries to share expertise, save cost, and enable library staff to concentrate on providing services to users rather than developing computing infrastructure. The library consortium can take up to the role of application service provider, that is ASP, which manage and distribute software based solution to its customer across a wide area network from a central data server. Joint archives and storage facilities. Cooperative storage of document is a recent trend whereby a group of libraries finances the construction of a high density facility with advanced climate control system. Sharing of documents is inbuilt in the concept of cooperative storage, since there is a little point in storing multiple copies of commonly owned documents. Shared core collections. Besides subscription to full text electronic resources and bibliographic database, the consortium may invest in purchase of back files, electronic books and reference sources. It may be noted that several publishers including Elsevier Science, Wiley InterScience and Institute of Physics offer their back files that may be loaded locally onto internet servers for local access. Shared digital library project development. As mentioned before, the consortium may take up activities that may not be associated either with purchase of electronic resource or their usage, but with completely different activities that require collaborative effort, wherein consortium with its infrastructure can be used as platform. These activities may relate to content creation, development and hosting. Z39.50 protocol facilitates a new form of collaboration, namely the virtual union catalog. A number of consortia have developed with an idea of linking their catalogs using this protocol. Even the systems that are not compliant with this Z39.50 protocol have been accommodated using interface programs. Shared digital reference or real-time reference service. Digital reference service, also called Ask a Librarian service or internet-based question and answer service, that connects user with individual who possess specialized subject knowledge and skill in conducting the precision searches. A library network can offer digital reference service involving the reference librarians from member libraries to answer questions depending upon their expertise. Once a question is received, it can be assigned to an individual expert from a member library for answering. Summary. In this module, you learned about the Library Consortium, its history, growth and development, types and categories, and pricing models of Library Consortium. You have also been provided knowledge on various activities and services that are offered by Library Consortia. Thank you.